welcome. We used to start a podcast where we podcast about starting a podcast.
We talk a lot.
I'm
about
Ryan.
Talking a lot. I'm Donovan.
Yes. And this podcast is about
everything and nothing all at once.
Yeah.
So before we get too into it, if in my mirror at home when I have the hood off, it looks different.
I think you look good.
I feel like if the hood's on,
You look like a douchebag.
like in a big way or just kind of like a small way. Like I don't care about this podcast. I just showed up.
Here's the thing: is when it comes to douchebags, are there levels of douchebaggery, or is it just like, hey, once you're a douchebag, it's like a pass fail?
I'll answer a question with a question on this one.
Okay.
Are there levels of? Oh, I'm trying to think of what well, actually, I don't have a question. I have nothing. I have nothing to say. No. Okay. So like
The longer it takes you to come up with something to say,
you know how
it
like
solidifies my argument.
You know how when you're dating somebody,
No.
you know how like
It's been a minute.
no, like you know how when you're dating,
Ladies, hit me up in the DMs.
you know how when you're dating somebody and it's like first date, second date, third date, whatever, you dating a girl from a male's perspective. You're dating a girl from a straight male's perspective, right? My perspective. When I would date a girl, I would rate them as you're kind of got potential crazy clinger vibes a little bit. You definitely have them, and then you're totally wild. This is, you're out there with the clinger vibes, the clingy, or just, nuts, like the second
just trying
date.
to figure
I
out
love
where
you.
you're going
My
with
whole
this.
point with this is there's different levels of crazy when it comes to that. So by that account, there should be different levels of douchebaggery, because I'm here to tell you straight up, if you walk through the mall, you can see the different levels happen in real time of douchebaggery. If you want to talk about it,
Okay.
If you want to talk about
All right,
douchebags,
first segment we're talking about, hey, we need to have structure going into these things. So the first segment is let's label. Okay, so where's Hot Topic? Where's Abercrombie and Fitch? Where's Calvin Klein?
No, okay, the guy. Okay, I'm trying to think of who's the perfect. It's a guy who lives at like Austin Ranch. Right, a guy who lives in an apartment that's a $30,000 millionaire.
Yeah,
the ones that drive McLarens, and it's like
it's all rental.
Yeah, it's a lease, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, lease is the new future.
They go to Lifetime and they have some ridiculous tattoo of like a lion or something. You know what I mean? Sheep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would put that at a 10. That's a DB10. It's DB10. That's what it's called. DB10. Now DB5. I think if you wear Lululemon, I wear Lululemon, you're immediately out of 5. You're starting at a 5.
Time out. Are you talking about from a male perspective or a female perspective?
Male perspective.
Okay, well, I'm just saying from a female wearing Lululemon, that's not douchebag. That's just dream.
Can you say that about a woman? Do women say that about other women? Or is douchebag synonymous with men?
That's interesting. No, I think it could be equal opportunity, because there's some definite douchebag women, but I just think there is different traits.
And there's different words, none of which we can say. None of which we can say, right? I don't know.
It's the one before the D.
I watched this thing where it was talking about like the Christian male podcaster starter kit, and it was like a Carhartt beanie. So I made sure not to wear one of those.
What's so funny about that is, like, when it comes to Carhartt, and we'll get back to douchebaggery, is like,
I feel like Carhartt and douchebaggery, there's some tie-ins.
It could be, but you got to figure out, it's like, what's the population of the city you live in currently? Because if it's less than 100, well, then Carhartt is probably standard.
Right.
But if you live in the city and you're trying to be emo and you're trying to be hipster, well, then you're probably at an 8.
Do you think it's funny that Carhartt, which has been stereotypically America working man, like, roughneck type brand. Do you think it's kind of hilarious that it's been embraced by people who have had like 9 boosters? I'm just asking.
From a business owner
not
perspective.
saying, I'm meaning that in the most,
I think it's
that in the most stereotypical dumb way. What I'm saying is, I never thought Okay, let me rephrase. Let me start over. Reset.
The branding of it, you would
Do
never.
you think it's weird that people that go to My Chemical Romance concerts, you will find more Carhartt at an MCR show now than you would stuff that they bought from Spencer's or
so
whatever.
here's the thing:
Hot Topic.
I wouldn't know because I haven't been.
Oh, well.
I'm not gonna make sweeping commentary about a subject matter I haven't fully researched, fully vetted, fully have academic, collegiate level knowledge of, as proven through the rest of this commentary.
I would just like to say I wear Carhartt and I've done zero manual labor in my life. I've done nothing hard, right?
Well, to follow up to my statement I just made, I'm actually currently writing a presentation where the third slide in it is everyone's full of doo-doo.
Really?
Yeah, so, we could apply that to that statement I just
Everyone's full of doo-doo. Everyone's full of doo-doo. So everyone has, by that, a little bit of DB in them.
So...
Looks like he got a little DB in him, am I right?
Circling back.
Yeah.
You're at a DB2.
I'm a DB2 by wearing the hood, but I'm going to keep it on. I can live with that. I can live with the DB2.
Yeah. But I just noticed the shoes.
These shoes.
DB2.5, 2.5.
These shoes are sick. These are mushrooms. These are Mario mushrooms. And it's green and red.
It gave you another 0.5.
What this outfit, what it says, I like to keep people on their toes. I do. Because I'm not what you would consider classically handsome, I don't think. and so because of that, I use a lot of. You're laughing when I say it.
I'm laughing because it's like,
because it's such a ridiculous thing to say.
My name is Donovan.
Clearly I'm
I have a super hot wife who's successful and awesome, and I got her because I'm funny.
That's basically it. It's the truth.
It's like anytime you hear I'm not classically handsome, they've got humor in the
also.
tank.
You know how sometimes there's not classically handsome dudes, but they're built like a brick house, and you're just like, holy crap, that guy's jacked. Like that looks like Brad Pitt and Troy with his shirt off.
So let's get a little real.
Yeah.
I would also say I am not classically handsome currently.
I disagree.
I'm getting there.
I disagree.
I would say from 17 to 32, I was doing all right because I was pseudo in shape. I was in the Marines, whatever. But the problem is pre-17, I was a fatty kid. So mentally, I wasn't like, ooh, I'm a good-looking guy. So I had those hang-ups. And, and that carried over to when I was in the Marines. And let's just be honest, if you're in the Marines, you're probably in shape, you know? And I just saw a video on Facebook. I was showing somebody about me doing karaoke from like 2011, and I was jacked. I was like, raw. I was wearing like the...
Affliction?
That would be a DB12.
Just a DB12.
Yeah. No, I was wearing like a thermal shirt, just kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, and I was just like, man, I was so hot. And then I blew up my ankle, and now I'm on the backside of that hotness. So I would say, if I'm in shape, I would say I'm pseudo.
You're classically handsome.
I think I'm a good man
classically handsome.
Dude, don't. That
Henry
guy's
Cavill is
the Cavill.
He's the C.
Old
HC. That's what I call him HC. I don't know why. Is that a thing?
CH.
He's extremely classically handsome.
On a scale of 1 to 10 of classically handsome.
Allie could leave me for Henry Cavill, and I'd be like, I totally get that. Can I be friends with
I would
y'all?
leave me for me. So the thing about, we were talking about this off camera, and we'll segue into this topic of DC and Henry Cavill. Is it Cavill or Cavill?
I don't know how to say it. I just call him Hank. Because I don't
by Hank.
I don't know, but it would confuse people. He should go by Hank. That would be the most non-British thing for him to do ever.
He's
probably
such a good-looking dude, and pseudo reports that you see about him is he's such a nice guy, such a hard worker, has all these amazing positive attributes, and yet Superman lost it. Witcher ran away from it. James Bond, not even thought about it.
Not even a thought. That blows my mind. Like, if I'm the Broccolis, I'm going, oh my God, this is the best news ever. Superman's available. Let's go make him James Bond and keep this train rolling.
But it blows my mind how he loves. Again, I've never talked to this dude. Supposedly, he loved being Superman, and he loved the Witcher series. But he said from day one, if the writers come in here and screw this up, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I think it's because he's such a gamer. I don't think people realize he's a gamer.
The coolest, like I watched an interview with him because I watched that. I finally broke down and watched the Mission Impossibles over the Christmas break. Like,
you've never seen those?
I'd seen them up until like Mission Impossible. I saw the one where he was climbing out of the building and he's running around, the building or whatever.
That's all of them, dude.
No, yeah.
There's like a full meme
it's one where it's one
Tom
where
Cruise running
it was
for
one
40
with,
years straight.
with Jeremy Renner and I don't know. I think it was Ghost Protocol. That was the last one I saw in theaters.
Okay.
But then I watched the other ones, and the one with Superman, there's this fight scene that they're having. Yes, dude, where he cocks his arms and he's like that. It's the single coolest thing as a man I think anyone can do now. Like, I would like to do, like, Alec could be like, hey, can you get some from the kitchen? And I'd be like,
what's funny is I saw a video about that, and it was talking about how, like, was that CGI or did you plan? He's like, I don't know, I just did it. And it was like such a iconic moment from that movie.
oh, it's the coolest moment in the whole movie.
It's like a half a second.
Yeah. And it's the coolest shot in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because he's just like about to beat the crap out of the other guy. Like, as soon as he did that, you're like, if some dude, if I was going to get a fight and some dude did the Hancock, I'd be like, well.
Can we address that real quick?
The Hancock?
No.
Or the fight?
You've got Henry Cavill, a.k.a. Superman, in a fight with Tom Cruise, who is a badass, but the dude is like 85 years old. There's no way he hangs with Henry.
No. I heard Mission Impossible music in the back. Tom Cruise's face over the last year has really taken a nosedive. Like, from the time that Maverick started shooting to the time that he's doing the presser.
Yeah.
It's like the guys at the end of the Indiana Jones movie.
It's almost like with COVID created like some kind of shipping issue where he couldn't get the right lotion or injection to stay young. Yeah. Like the Illuminati wasn't able to get him his stuff to stay young.
Yeah, let's go down that path of rabbits.
Sorry.
Was it the the adrenochrome or whatever?
I don't know.
We can't talk about any of that. That's how dudes on podcasts that talk about that kind of stuff are the kind of dudes where they're like, oh, well, local guy was killed by alligators randomly. Like, it just happens. So don't worry about it. No one investigate. He's gone.
As Andrew Tate would say, the Matrix is out to get you.
This, right? Adrenochrome.
We can't see it.
We can't see it. I don't want to see it if it's adrenochrome. Well, I don't know. Let's not talk about adrenochrome because those are the things that you can't talk about on podcasts.
Netflix India?
Bathroom fight 2. There it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, show it to us, baby.
Here comes the Hancock.
Should we watch it?
Well, you can at least show the still.
We can look at it.
Actually, if you go to, there you go. Hack it. Hacks.
And these, here it comes.
No,
this little dude, he
beat it up a bit.
He beats the crap out of them.
I think it's halfway through the fight he does it, though.
It's after.
Well, he injects the adrenochrome.
That's not adrenochrome. That's what he's needed it. He needed his adrenochrome.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, if somebody started doing karate kicks, I'd be like, well, it's over. I'm going to die this way.
Well, if somebody did that to your throat, it's over.
Yeah. But if some guy dropped back and started doing karate kicks, I'd be like, well,
oh, here it is.
Here
it
is.
Is it? No.
Yeah, he takes off his jacket and he does it. It's even cooler. Here it is. Watch him do it. Here it is. Yeah! Do you see it?
Oh, that's sick.
It's so badass, right?
For the next 2 hours, all we're going to do is watch
Henry Cavill. Oh! I love that. That's so cool. It's just an iconic, cool image that you think of, right?
Yeah.
Like directors and people that are able to come up with those little iconic things, that's the kind of stuff that you go buy, make a
So,
T-shirt and sell it on Etsy
Do
of
you
him
think
doing the hand comic.
maybe that's why he's not a Superman anymore? Because Superman's too milquetoast.
No, this
and
is what I
he's
think
such a
happened.
badass?
I think this is what happened to poor old Henry. I think that he had the same agent as The Rock, right?
Okay.
So
Let's get into this.
so here's what
Inside
I think
baseball.
happened. Here's what I think happened.
Yeah.
The Snyderverse kind of killed off DC a little bit for some weird reason. It did
The Snyder verse or the Snyder cut?
the Snyder cut not happening.
Got it.
Like I think it was Joss Whedon. Whedon. So Snyder had a tragedy in his life while he was doing that movie, and Joss Whedon came in and finished it and
Right.
finished putting it together. And that movie was nowhere near what the Snyderverse movie
Right.
was going to be. Turns out the Snyderverse movie isn't that much better, unfortunately.
But the Joss Whedon version, Whedon is more like Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Whereas Snyder is more like Batman Begins.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Get it?
I will say,
see?
I will say, I like the Snyder movie better than the Whedon movie. But
Right.
anyway, that movie came out, but it didn't do what everybody thought it was going to do. It didn't spawn the need for Justice League sequels, and then Aquaman, for some reason, ended up being way better than it had any business being, and that became its own
Yeah,
situation.
but when you have an 89% viewer rate from women,
Yeah.
it helps.
So
I don't know if that's
so.
a real
Anyway, here's the
stat,
deal:
but-
Superman didn't happen the way they didn't do the Justice League 2. Nobody cared about Batman versus Superman. Only thing people wanted to see from Henry Cavill and Superman was a Man of Steel 2.
Right.
That's all I ever wanted to see. I didn't want to see him fight Batman. I didn't want to see Ben Affleck and him
I
fight.
enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman.
He was a good Batman, but it's not King Lear. I mean, it's Batman. You know what I mean? Like, that's everybody. I got a laugh from Sohill.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, nobody.
Shut it down. It's over. We got it. We made it.
Everybody was mad when he got cast as Batman. And I'm just like, how hard is this going to be for this guy? Like, it's not that big a deal. It's Batman.
Here's since we're talking down this, here's what's crazy. And going back to Henry,
I'm going to get there, but go.
we're both getting there.
Okay, yeah.
Where there's so many places to go.
Here's, okay, well, but,
Well, let me get my
okay, say it.
My turn.
Say it, baby. Say it, baby. All right.
Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
amazing dude,
Yeah.
amazing actor, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves him as Superman. Is no longer Superman.
Right.
Flash dude, constantly in trouble.
They are constantly in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah.
But constantly in jail, whatever. Still the Flash?
They are not only still the Flash, they're gonna get a they're saying that they're gonna let them stay on.
Is that Ezra?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're staying on.
They're gonna let him make another movie. They're
How is that
they're doubling
possible?
down on them. And here's the thing that's interesting. Wait, hold on. Henry Cavill, I have to tell you this thing.
Cavill.
Okay, so he was Superman. There was no need for the Superman movie that everybody wanted to see. So The Rock, who has been trying to make Black Adam forever.
Right.
Like they announced the Black Adam movie as that was his movie that was going to be right after the the Mummy movie. Like he was going to be Black Adam and it was going to happen, but it took forever.
Yeah.
It was always in development hell.
He's been working on it for like 15 years.
Yeah. So I think he saw the failing DC because it's failed. DC has failed in comparison to Marvel. It's failed in comparison to any of these, movies that have these series that they've been able to, these franchises that they've been able to have the last few years. DC has just not worked. It hasn't.
Right.
The one-offs have worked, but even the one-offs, they've worked as in they've broke even. They haven't been massive, hits. So like with Superman, all we wanted to see was Man of Steel 2. It didn't happen. The Rock said, hey, my movie sucks, but DC sucks too. So I can take my sucky movie to this sucky studio and then
I enjoyed it.
I can try and trick and manipulate this situation by getting Henry Cavill in it, getting the fans behind Henry Cavill, and I have an interest in this because my agent's his agent. So this whole manipulative move where the only person who could lose is Henry Cavill. Because The Rock's not going to lose. His movie is going to do well. It's going to break even at least. It's going to make a profit. I think there was some big discrepancies on whether or not it actually made a profit. But if you saw Black Adam, it was like watching a DC movie. You're like, this is just not as good as Marvel, and that's the feeling. You know what I mean? When you watch it, you're like, it's just not as good.
I think also DC has another problem in the sense of whoever puts their organizations together, whoever puts their cast together, it just seems like there's always something that's a negative anchor on it.
Yeah.
Like even with Aquaman, you've got Amber Heard.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like the Marvel universe has their people on lockdown because I can't think of any controversies other than potentially if you want to throw Chris Pratt as a controversy. That's the only one. I can't think of anything, but it seems like with DC, there's repeatedly baggage.
So think about this. You're Henry Cavill. You look just like Superman. You're cast in the first Superman movie. It does pretty well. And then they put you in these crappy sequels because they are forcing a universe.
Right.
See, what happened is Man of Steel should have been like Batman, the Christopher Nolan movies. Should have been 3 movies about Superman. But DC
Just
said,
like
oh my
Iron Man.
gosh, Marvel has done this really cool thing where they've connected these universes. Let's build a universe
They
and blah,
forgot,
blah, blah.
They forgot that there was 2 Iron Mans before there was anything else.
Yeah, there was already a thing, a theme set, but they tried to force a universe, and so by forcing a universe, everybody else kind of has to share this whole thing instead of being focused on one character.
Right.
So Superman didn't get the fair shake, and then Dwayne The Rock Johnson was like, "Hey, man, be in this movie, and then we'll turn the studio on its head because the leadership is leaving. They're in between. You can be in this movie. We'll pay you $250,000 for your cameo, and then we'll get the internet so excited it's going to help my movie get a sequel, and it's going to make you come back as Superman."
But he was
and
in
that
the
was the
in-screen,
play.
though.
Yeah, but that was the play. The play was to create the buzz. So they did that. Henry Cavill says, "I'm back," and then DC hires.
JK.
Yeah, I mean, getting Gunn in there and the other guy. I mean, I'm excited for what they're going to do, but it seems like if you're Henry Cavill,
Gunn did the
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, but he also did the
Suicide Squad.
yeah, the Peacemaker series.
Yeah, Peacemaker.
Which was super campy, super goofy. So I mean, it's interesting because like the Snyder version of what he was trying to do was make it all dark and mysterious.
Yeah.
And Gunn with his Peacemaker, that's almost like saying, "Hey, Marvel's good because it's campy and funny. So let's just 10x on that."
I should probably acknowledge I've been live for a really long time.
Oh,
Hey
nice.
guys.
Oh yeah.
There's nobody on anymore. There probably was nobody on to begin with. They're like, "What is this guy doing?" Oh,
The power of influence.
Anyway.
I've influenced. No, but we were talking about the yeah, but doubling down or tripling down on the campy side of things. I mean, I guess, but Marvel's great because it finds that balance.
Well, it just seems like so. With the whole thing started on Henry Cavill. I think he's getting a bad shake. I think he has a bad agent.
I think he'll be fine.
I mean, you say that, but think about it. He did the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but no one else did. That movie flopped, right? He did that. He's done Superman, which is the only thing that people really know, and the Mission Impossible movie where his character dies, so he's not coming back to that franchise. He did The Witcher, which he has left, so he's not going back to do, and he left The Witcher to do Superman.
No, he left The Witcher because of the writers.
You think so?
Absolutely. He loved that property. Because he's such an avid gamer.
Right.
He
okay. Well, so he
Witcher.
left The Witcher, and they said it's okay, you can leave. I
Well,
mean, think
no,
about how that
no.
must be.
Yeah, but it's because the writers, and again, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm reading into headlines and never actually reading an article. So I'll admit that. But from what my sources have told me,
Sources.
my sources,
My ass.
what the internet has told me and what I've gleaned is that like the writers don't care about the source material. They don't care about the fans. And they're just like, hey, we're using the source material as a blueprint, and then we'll just, we'll go our own way. Like they just did this origin series that has no.
That's the stupidest thing ever. Dude.
I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I'm like, it has nothing to do with Witcher.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. But it was just like Netflix was like, how do we make another fantasy show? Well, let's just put this name on it.
Well, if you are, again, I'm worried about Henry the more we talk about it. Because think about it. No Witcher, no Superman. You died in Mission Impossible.
I think he's fine.
You did Man from U.N.C.L.E. and that sucked. What else has he done? Name another thing that Henry Cavill has done. And name a movie that he could do where people aren't immediately going to look at him and be like, ah, that's Superman. There he is.
I think as long as he keeps a six-pack, he's going to be all right.
I don't see it. I don't think he has to be James Bond or his career is over. Because there's no other roles for him.
I don't think he's a good James Bond though. James Bond.
And that's what kind of sucks is because I sort of agree with you. Like he's like right below what would be perfect. He's almost too Roger Moore.
He would be more. He's more. No, it's not that. I think he'd be more of a Hercules rock figure than like. Can you imagine The Rock being James Bond? He's too big. I think Henry Cavill's too big.
I mean, yeah, I mean he's big, but I mean there's other things I think would keep. I mean he's like
British.
Yeah, he's not British. The Rock is also.
Oh, I'm just talking about his size.
Oh, okay.
And he's bald.
I was like, he's like 50, 60, maybe. Is he 60?
And he's got a bald head.
Bald.
James Bond.
Can you imagine The Rock with a wig playing James Bond, faking an English accent? Because I would see that movie.
Actually,
if they cast The Rock as James Bond and The Rock does an English accent and gets the hair, I'm in. I'm gonna go see it.
No, they would make if they made The Rock James Bond. What they would do is like they'd make the movie in America and he uses an American accent because he's undercover.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. And he pulls his bodysuit off at the end, and it's just Daniel Craig or something. Did you watch Glass Onion?
I haven't.
I heard
it's any good.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
So
I heard it lost a lot of money. Have you seen Avatar?
It lost money?
I don't know. I'm sure it did.
It was way worse than the first.
What was Glass Onion?
Yeah.
But the first is like universally acclaimed as one of the greatest.
The first was phenomenal.
I haven't seen.
Okay, so we're saying
Glass Onion was way worse than the first.
It's way worse than the first, but it's still good, right?
It's watchable. It's fun.
Isn't there a massive cameo by a massive '90s actor? I heard that. Don't say who it is, but
why not?
Isn't there one?
Maybe. I'm trying to think.
I heard midway through it, there's
like
a massive.
He doesn't know anything about the '90s.
Massive cameo.
I don't remember.
Like it's Benoit's husband or whatever.
Clearly, it wasn't that impactful.
Guess it wasn't that big a deal.
What about Avatar 2?
I heard Hugh Grant pops up halfway through Glass Onion, and he plays Daniel Craig's husband.
Yeah.
I think that's in a trailer.
It's in the trailer? Man, maybe the movie isn't doing well. Because that's usually when they start pulling out the fancy, dun, da, 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 look, Charlize Theron's at the end, or whatever.
Is she?
No, it just, so Doctor Strange and Marvel movies in general, they've gotten in this habit of being like 8 minutes of credit songs, and then Skippy McDippy, here I am, and then they fly away.
So there's a show on Netflix I think you would love. And you've probably already seen it. It's the Improv Show with Will Arnett.
Haven't seen it.
It's
that's good.
Murder. I think it's Murder in the
Murder in the Building,
Murder Mystery or whatever. But they did what the show concept is they take a famous actor, and the whole show is improv for the actor. Everybody else is like actors that have scripts and storylines. So it's like it's like a whodunit, but it's a choose your own adventure guided.
Do they just get random actors?
They've had
or
Marshawn Lynch do it, which was amazing. They've had they've had a bunch of actors, but they did a Christmas special with who's the Ozark guy?
Bateman.
I
love that guy.
So and then also Maya Rudolph was in it.
I like her.
But then they also got the SNL Pete
Davidson?
Yeah. But what was funny about it is he was brought in at the very end of the show, like literally like, hey, now I was trying to figure out who did it. But before, we got to get you one more investigator, Pete Davidson. He's like, catch him up. And then he had to choose who he thought was, and it was good. It was funny.
Is he funny?
I think so.
Pete Davidson?
I think he's funny when I enjoy his comedy. I think
he's dark. I think he's very dark. His comedy is very, very dark, and like
it has to be though.
Yeah, I guess it has to be.
I mean, think about how many comedy rooms he's been in, like where the first joke is 9/11.
Yeah.
You know, those who don't know, his father was I think a firefighter.
Firefighter.
And
And most of his routine that I've seen is making fun of that. Like,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, that's one way, I guess, to be famous.
Have you seen King of Staten Island?
I have seen that, and I thought, here's what I thought. I love the Judd Apatow movies. I like all of them. Like, there's not one that I've seen where that I haven't enjoyed. I love his comedic style. I love the way he tells stories. They remind me of Rob Reiner films. I used to love the Rob Reiner movies, like The Story of Us is one of my favorites. So watching Judd Apatow, I always feel like, oh, we're going to have a really nice story here. It's going to be something that is going to make me feel good at the end. It's going to make me cry, but I'm going to laugh a lot. Staten Island, I hated that I didn't hate him in it. Not that there's a lot of hate in that.
Is it just that you don't like Pete Davidson?
I just, for whatever reason, I don't get it. I don't understand it, I guess. I don't understand his appeal, but watching that movie, I thought he was really good. Like, I thought he was really, really good in it. Not so much, and at the beginning it felt kind of like, I feel like Pete Davidson is, this generation's Adam Sandler, in a way. Because I feel like Staten Island could be made with Adam Sandler today, or it could have been made with Adam Sandler in 1993, and it would be huge. It'd be a huge movie. Do you agree, Sohail, with that?
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Like,
it's not a one-for-one analog, but yeah.
Yeah.
And especially Adam Sandler's like recent drama stuff.
So I thought Staten Island at the end, man, I was really moved when he realizes that he loves the girl and he tells her. I thought, man, this is, I went into it so skeptical. Bill Burr, though, saves it for me. I would watch anything he's in. But the end part where he has this kind of full character arc and he is very, transparent with this girl, I really found myself going, God, I really like Pete Davidson in this role.
But here's the thing about Pete Davidson, and like, I think the Chad sketch he does on SNL is funny.
Yeah.
But I would say 90% of the sketches he's in on SNL is trash. But then again,
Jimmy Fallon was the same way.
But 100% of the sketches on SNL are trash too. So, But the thing is, I think about Pete Davidson is, and again, I've never met him, I've never talked to him, but he most likely has a super awesome personality one-on-one, and people genuinely like him. Because like he makes jokes all the time about how he's always surprised that he hasn't been fired from SNL yet. But I think it's because Lorne Michaels genuinely likes him and genuinely cares for him.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes. But that's why he's landing all these other reasons.
Landing.
All these like super celebrity dating.
The way you put
I
that
know.
is the worst way anyone could ever.
attracting.
It's like they're prize fish or something. The way he's really getting, I don't know what kind of bait he's using, but whatever it is, it's working. I don't know if it's hot dogs.
We all know the bait he's using.
Here's the deal. Well, I've heard stories about that from, but no. One of these guys, you know
That's
what I mean?
Saying. But but the thing is though, that only goes so far. I think he genuinely has a good personality, and people.
Literally, it
pretty far.
Some people have had it up to here with him, is what I heard.
It's in the other room.
You know what I mean?
What's
I
that?
heard they had it up to here with him. So stop it.
I want to point out that it's you that needs to be PG.
That's a funny joke. I would say that on my stories. Anybody who's watching knows that maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. No, maybe they don't know anything. But
that's my social media tip.
No, I think Pete Davidson. I think that I totally get the appeal. I get the appeal. I understand that why girls think he's attractive. I get it.
I don't know about that.
I bet he's hilarious. First off, on a one-on-one like that, I bet his self-deprecating humor makes them feel immediately awesome. And so,
but I also think it's the bank account.
Dude, I don't know. He's a Saturday Night Live cast member. I don't know, and he's not. His name's not Keenan. I would assume he's doing okay, but I don't think it's like.
But
he's not
status as well. He's on TV.
Well, and he's on SNL, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and in movies.
But I mean, people like Kim or Ari or whoever else he's been with. Who's he with? Bella Hadid?
No, he was with the.
Sorry,
Yo, money.
Emrat.
I got it. The something. I'm cute and skinny. I got in trouble for licking a donut. What's her name?
Ariana Grande.
Oh, Ariana. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
And also, I think he dabbled
dabbled with
Kate, Underworld.
Yeah, Kate. What's her butt?
She's my fave, even though I can't remember her name right now.
Kate
Beckinsale.
Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Because she's in Mensa.
That means she's really smart.
Really smart.
So
I mean-
obviously,
She likes to.
But my point is, I think I don't think that's a biggie. The status or that like these women can get whoever they want.
Kim Kardashian couldn't
yes,
get me.
but they're not gonna.
She couldn't
date-
get me if if Kim Kardashian was like, "Hey, Daddy Man," or I don't know, Donovan, you pretty handsome guy, or if she tried her best line, I'd be like, "No, sorry,"
Well,
And why?
anyone with status.
because
Give you married.
I'm married. No,
But going back to yes, Kate, these women can have anybody they want, but they're not gonna. If Pete Davidson was a bartender,
tell you what though,
He's
Demi
not-
Lovato
he's
could
not-
have.
Yeah, of
Demi
course.
Lovato could have me if she wanted. If she wanted.
They.
If she-
Or no, she's back to she.
If
Never
she
mind,
wa- if
never
she
mind.
wanted. Just saying.
isn't she like
Wonderful. Yeah.
No.
how?
How not? Have you guys seen School of Rock or Camp Rock or whatever
Camp
that
She's
movie
not
is?
in School of Rock.
School of Rock is the best movie of all time.
School of Rock's a
She's
great
not in it.
movie. She's not in it, but the Camp Rock. Did you see Camp Rock?
I think maybe.
Is that
when
that
she-
song, the Pebble in the Water song?
yeah.
But
She did with
didn't
Joe
she
Jonas?
just go like super like? I was talking to this. having this conversation in. I was in the car with Paul and Madison
love
because we
Demi
went to
Lovato,
Waco, and to shoot with Corey. You love.
I do.
Love her.
Okay.
Who in your mind is like fell off the deep end actress the most?
In what way?
Just choose your own adventure.
No, I need pretense and context.
Okay, my answer to that question is Amanda Bynes.
Amanda Bynes?
Yes, isn't that her name? She's
Was
the
she
man.
in the one that where she played the soccer
'Cause, like,
player?
yes, because she was like an up and coming, and again, I get it. Child actresses, actors, they. I think she was a child actor. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
she was a victim of Dan Schneider's.
I don't know.
grasp.
I don't know anything about that. But I'm just saying, it's like, which is tragic. But like,
I got
she was super talented, super pretty, all these things, and then just not.
I have two.
Okay.
One of them's more extreme than the other.
Okay.
And I'm surprised you didn't go with this one, honestly.
Okay.
Tara Reid.
Who's that?
90210?
Tara Reid? From American Pie?
American Pie.
Remember?
Yeah, but
Every guy, like, I mean, dude. Here's the thing about.
I was never
I don't
into
want to
her.
objectify it this way, but
I
I
was
will
never into
say,
her, though.
I thought she was so pretty, and I thought she was dating Carson Daly, and then she did that movie. There she is. Look at her.
Yeah,
She did that movie, and she's a very talented actress. I thought, and then nothing.
But okay,
I
we're
think Hollywood-
defining falling off deep end differently
Oh, okay.
because, like, yeah, she went away.
You're
but I
talking
don't-
about people who made bad career choices, maybe, or
or just had victims. I don't know.
Julia Stiles.
But what happened to her? She's made a dance movie and then made a couple of Bourne movies.
She made a dance movie, and she was in one Bourne movie. And
She was in
and
a
in the
couple.
Bourne movie, it was like, oh, look, there's Julia Stiles. I haven't seen her in 20 years.
I will say when she was in the first Bourne movie,
You're like, oh,
you're like,
oh yeah.
why is Julia Stiles, who's usually a leading lady, why is
Fourth
she
billing.
Yeah, why is she
Yeah.
just a pseudo character?
I don't know.
Demi Lovato gets triggered.
Demi Lovato can get triggered. Demi Lovato's had it. You don't know what it's
This
like
is
being
one of
a
my
child
favorite-
performer. Don't, dude. Don't do her that way. That's all right.
What's okay?
Got misconstrued.
Demi Lovato is coming under
I
fire
just-
after blasting a yogurt shop for selling sugar-free.
Well,
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. And then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend.
When I wake up in the morning, love.
That lives rent free in my head constantly.
I don't understand.
So she went into a frozen yogurt
picking
store
on
and
Demi
they had
Lovato. I'm so sick
sugar-free
of it.
frozen yogurt, and she got really mad because that's fat phobic to have sugar-free, saying that you should be on a diet or you should have sugar
Okay,
free.
I didn't know about that.
No, but
To be-
it's not consequential. It's just hilarious.
That's
But have you heard her
insane.
sing "Let
That's
It Go"?
insanity.
No, she's super talented.
Or what's that one? Stone Cold. When she sings the Stone Cold song, here's how good she is. When she sings Stone Cold, I feel like a 43-year-old woman from Oklahoma whose husband has left her for, the waitress at the pie shop.
I'm changing
like,
my answer.
I feel so like I feel it, and I'm a
What?
dude. You know what I mean?
what? Whitney Houston.
Let herself go,
No,
or what do you mean?
just like,
fell off the deep end.
well,
I want to be.
I
you are
mean,
aware that she has passed, right?
I know.
Okay.
What I'm saying is she was so beautiful, so talented. One of them, I mean, it's crazy how talented she was. And then Bobby Brown.
Hey, Kristen.
Bobby.
Hey, Kelly.
Bobby Brown.
Bobby. I don't think Bobby Brown had anything to do with it. I think if you're,
I think he introduced the drugs to her.
I mean, okay. Here's the deal.
No judgment. It's
Yeah,
sad.
it's
All
sad.
of it's sad.
Well, she did that movie with Kevin Costner, The Bodyguard, and she was going to be like a movie star, and I guess it never. Well, she did some movies, didn't she? She did The Preacher's
I think
Wife.
she did several. But again, that's about the time she met Bobby Brown.
Well,
Like, but what's crazy is like that Kevin Costner Bodyguard, I guess, was such an impactful moment that Kevin Costner spoke at her funeral.
he did. All right, I'm gonna get off the live so I can put my phone down. But
Yeah,
I
it's
appreciate.
kinda weird. It's
yeah,
kinda weird.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of rude. We're just gonna go live,
Hold on.
or
How
we
do I
could just go live.
How do I wish I knew how I saved this.
I don't know. So we talked about Cavill. We talked about. Well, we didn't really talk about Netflix, but we did talk about the DCs. We talked about. We have a new. Was it DB numbering scale, douchebag numbering scale, and then we have the CH numbering scale.
And that's clingy harlot.
No, it's classically hot.
Oh,
Yeah,
classically handsome.
Yeah, but I think even a 1.
Clingy harlot. I don't know. We were talking about Tara Reid and stuff. I didn't know what we were.
But I think if you can even get a 1 on the classically handsome, that's a positive.
Yeah.
And I think even getting a 1 on the DB scale, that's a negative.
Well, what I've learned is that I hate the way I look on TV. Like
You got to do it more.
if I looked the way I did on Instagram on TV, I'd be like Ryan Gosling in my mind. But that's just not the way it is.
So here's the thing:
Ryan.
is like I have,
not the way it is.
I have reversed body dysmorphia.
Like blind confidence.
Yes,
I love that.
but when I see myself on this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I don't get phone calls back.
What are you talking about?
That's why, like, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders doesn't give me her number or something.
Here's the thing: we are living. If I regret losing all the weight, I regret losing the weight. I don't regret losing the weight. It's amazing. Being skinny is the best. I'm not even skinny, but but this is what I'll tell you.
You look good.
In a time like right now, I wish that I grew up in a time that was in many. Okay, so I have to be very careful about how I say this because there's a lot of things, right, that I'm not like super excited about. But
you don't want Demi Lovato coming after you.
I don't want Demi Lovato coming after me. She'll sing a beautiful song about it with her goddess voice. So I wish that I'm grateful that my kids are growing up in a time where there is a lot more body positivity, because I can already see you just getting ready to tear this take apart. So I grew up in a time where if you were not skinny and you didn't have the abs right, and if you had man boobs, it was the worst.
We still live in that time.
I don't know, man. Like, because we do, but I think that there's been a lot of progress as far as kindness.
Okay.
and
When's the last time you went to a mall?
I went over Christmas.
Okay. Next time you go to the mall, look at the mannequins. The female mannequins they'll be plus size, they'll be this size, they'll be average size, whatever. The male mannequins, they still ripped out. I'm assuming. I haven't been to a store in forever. But that's how you can
I
judge.
totally agree, especially in fashion. They haven't
Yeah.
caught up. Like, all the clothes are still made one way which I think all three of us don't like that way.
No,
I can agree with it.
I'm okay with that because again, it goes back to the body positivity. I think mainly applies to women. I think towards men, like
They still really want you to be hot. Yeah, it sucks.
I mean,
okay, so like,
here's the thing, and what it is. One of my favorite musicals is Legally Blonde. I know it's absurd. The main character in that musical, in the movie, was Reese Witherspoon, and on the original Broadway production was Laura Bell Bundy. Beautiful, hot, talented women, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I was super excited because there's a tour coming through Dallas.
don't tell the rest of this story, dude.
Don't.
No, because I already feel like it's no.
Well, I just
Because
looked at the
I'm gonna
cast.
start laughing, and then by association, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, remember when Donovan was on there and he was mad because there was a chubby girl singing or whatever."
I didn't. You did it.
But that's where it was going, right?
I was going to where the lead actress.
Yeah.
I'm sure is incredibly talented, but was not. She wasn't on the classically hot scale,
Right.
To me, she wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
Maybe a mug of tea. No. And who am I to judge? I'm sure she's incredibly talented, but I wasn't into it.
I would just like to be.
It is what it is.
Well, I'm going to see Moulin Rouge, and it's one of those traveling orchestras or whatever.
Sometimes they're good. You out there, buddy?
What do you mean? Sometimes they're good.
Usually they're always good. Yeah.
Was it bad? Was it bad?
What?
She was a good singer, wasn't she?
I don't know. I'm sure she was amazing.
I don't know. I
talented.
left.
I never went.
Oh, you never went?
I never bought the ticket.
Did they have a poster?
It was the video. I was like, oh, cool. Let me let you.
Well,
I know.
here's the deal. What
I've seen
thought
some
was true-
amazing
the body
musical
positivity. Here, okay, so for example, I'm wearing American Classic.
Is this your plug for a sponsorship? Hey, pay me to wear these clothes. Click the link below for this Lucky Brand jeans.
Just listen. It's not a sponsorship, but it is a thing. This is what's that. I'm wearing American Classic, and our true American. I really need to know the name. What does it say? What is it? Can you see? What's it say?
I don't know. Your hand's in the way.
Is it? I'm sorry. I want to get this right. I'm trying to get that free car. Is it American Classic?
True Classic.
True Classic. Okay.
Which is a brand.
It's a brand, but it's a brand on Instagram that I've seen ads for where it's like, hey guys, I used to be like you. Because most guys are. Because the fashion industry makes shirts that don't fit normal body types. These shirts make your arms look good, have a little extra room in the tummy, and if you wear them, hot girls will have sex in your backyard.
Did you buy this?
No, I didn't buy it.
Okay.
I've always laughed at it. I've always been like, whatever. I never took it seriously. Well, this is what happened. Christmas comes once a year. But for me, it came 16.
And you look in your backyard.
16 times. It's exactly like the TC Tuggers. Whoa, something with the big boys. Yeah, that's. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The TC Tugger. It's got a thing so you don't trash your hands whenever you move your shirt. TC Tugger. It's from that guy that I love. I think he's the funniest
it's
person.
a loop in the shirt.
No, it's got a little knob so you don't
It's
wreck
literally
your hand.
like a bottle cap.
It's so you don't wreck your hands, right?
Yeah,
wreck
so
your
you don't
hand?
mess up your
It's
shirt.
so you don't wreck your hands when you pull your shirt.
I don't get it.
It's a joke about how every guy is always pulling their shirt. Well, this has a little knob.
because it gets caught up in your boobs.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff.
a little knob so it doesn't jack up your shirt. It's pretty fun. But so these true classics that I'm wearing are these classic Americans or whatever the hell they're
I hope they
branding.
have a list of everybody that bought that, and they send like a monthly email saying, "Are you okay?
Are you okay? You doing okay?
Need something?"
So my
Just checking
sister-in-law gave me the full set of the classic shirts, the true for Christmas.
Okay.
So I have them in every color.
Okay.
And I will say, like on the commercial, the guy goes, "Yeah, I get compliments daily." And then it shows like a shot of him sitting down at like a park bench, and this girl walks up and she goes, "I like your shirt." Like she says it real creepy, you know what I mean? And walks away. That hasn't happened yet.
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either.
I
It took a long way for me to get to that point.
I've gotten.
But my whole
I
thing
like your
is,
boots.
Yeah.
I like your jacket.
but no one's ever said that shirt looks really good.
No, I mean, if it's like a company branded shirt, like, ooh, I like your shirt. I like that shirt. But it's not like I like your shirt.
Do these girls? Do these girls?
Who are these girls? First of all,
I'm just mad because now girls. There's this whole movement of girls shooting their shot. You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean. Clearly, it's this thing.
are you talking about like the Brittany Renner types?
There's this thing where there's just videos of girls that are like walking up to dudes and basically just risking it all.
But what's the risk though?
Nothing.
Risking it all.
I guess
They have
risking it all.
nothing to
But,
risk.
well, I think it's risking it all that's risky because it's always been this. There's always been this. And I don't know if it's a gender thing, like, well, the man has to come hit me on the head
Yeah,
with
it's
his
risking their perceived femininity in the eyes of the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. On that.
Where was that shit when we were doing
No
this?
kidding, right?
Like,
Sadie Hawkins.
yeah, nothing like that.
Well, the thing is, like, depending on which podcast you consume or which content you consume, like on the internet, TikTok is a great source. But it's like, and again, statistics are just made up numbers. But like supposedly like 99% of women are trying to all go for the top 5% of men. And it's like they all want all these men that make over 100 grand. It's like newsflash, like only like 80% of the population makes over 100 grand or something, or makes only, I don't know, whatever statistics mean.
Statits.
Yeah.
Check
But,
out
like,
the
basically,
statits
it's
on
like-
her, am I right?
Basically, because I remember my dad.
Don't
I remember
sound
having a
bacon.
conversation with my dad about money,
Right.
and like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. He's like, Ryan, you need to understand, $100,000 is a lot of money. I'm X amount old, and I still don't make $100,000. I work my tail off. Granted, there's different. So I think it goes back again, going back to like the fake guru types, and there's a lot of fakeness on Instagram. But all these people who claim to have all this abundance, it's usually rented and leased.
Yeah.
You know, because the
Smoke and
reality
mirrors.
it is because the reality is they don't have that. So it's almost
But
like
perception is reality, unfortunately.
yeah, but when perception is clouded, like a whole generation of people where women want, that is the new. Well, it's not new. They've always wanted power and money and humor.
Right.
Like Pete Davidson, yay. But like, if everybody is going for that top 1%, well, guess what? I think I saw a study like by 2030, a huge number of women were going to be single.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot what the stat was, but it was like, ooh, that's eye opening.
I'm gonna write that down.
But clearly, I did not.
No, like I don't know. I feel like, and maybe it's just my whole realization or thought process of, well, that didn't happen when this and da da da. Maybe it's really just I'm older now, and I can see the field for what it is, and I go, oh no. Like, I think me now is, if I was a single guy now, I would be a lot different than as a single guy in my 20s. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It is weird though, because as a single guy, I remember I shooting my shot.
Shooting your shot.
I reached out to a lady that I know.
You shot
A person.
Who-
I
what
didn't shoot
happened?
her. I didn't shoot her. But I was just like, hey, I would love to take you out sometime. Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And her response was like, it made me laugh, like, because it was just like,
so painful and hurtful.
no, it was just like, what pathetic individuals are you talking to? because I was just like, hey, I'd love to take you out. She's like, oh, Ryan, I see you as older brother. I think you're a good guy. I really like your friendship. Would love to hang out and have like coffee, but from a romance side, I'm not interested. I'm like, okay, like, so I mean,
See,
but
you don't like that.
no.
Oh, wait, you do
no,
like
what
that.
I'm saying is like the amount of explanation of
Necessary.
like the amount of like her trying to make sure she didn't hurt my feelings. I mean, great, that's great and all,
God, I
but I
would've
just thought it
killed-
was just like I was like, what weak men are normally asking you out that you're turning down that are just like, oh my God, you know? It's like, hey, you want to go out? No, okay.
I would have loved for them to be like that. It was always a mystery. Like if you didn't, you know what I mean? And they would
Was
always,
it though?
Because they acted so mysterious. Like I don't like you.
Let's turn this into a dating
Yeah, but it
podcast.
was like that.
Ask me out.
Right now.
Sure,
Look, I've been with dozens of men, but I'm gonna need
just ask me out.
a little bit of a ramp up here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Tip of the tongue, top of the teeth. Wait, are we role playing?
Sure, let's role play.
Are you a woman?
Sure, yes.
Okay, so you're not a man,
And you're single.
and I'm a single.
You're a single,
I'm a single.
and I'm a female.
And you're a female.
And this is a texting situation.
Text. Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Okay, I would say this is my phone. I didn't grab my real phone. I would say, hey, what are you doing on? Or what's your schedule like this week? That's what I would say.
And here's my response.
What? Oh, okay. Because now, after a certain amount of time, I'm going to respond with nothing because there's nothing I can say. Oh my God, you're right. That is kind of terrible because if you say anything else, unless it's like the line or the perfect thing, then you're creepy.
But here's where it's a landmine situation.
Mm-hmm.
There was a girl I was dating years ago.
What was her name?
Rachel.
What was her last name? Just kidding. Tell me. Okay, don't tell me. Go ahead.
Rachel. Anyway, and we've been dating for like, I don't know. It was still very much the honeymoon, like very short period of romantic situations. But then she got a job that she was leaving like in a month or so. And she basically was like, hey, this has been fun, but I'm only here for one more month. I want to spend time with my friends.
I'm not laughing at your story. I'm just laughing at like
Rachel.
the most polite way anyone's ever described. You're like, it was still, it was still at the beginning of like one of those brief romantic situations. Like,
You know, the first 20 minutes of a romantic comedy, it was that. We're still in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay. So Rachel,
Yeah,
she has
anyway.
to leave.
So yeah, so she's says she has to leave, and she basically just says, "Hey," she basically says, "Don't call me, don't talk to me. I want to spend my time." I'm like, "Okay."
Is it like a short trip, or is this
No,
forever?
she's leaving to take a job in a different state, and she's leaving in a month, and in that month period, she wants to spend her time with her family and friends that she's had longer than me.
Then you got it.
And I said, okay, cool. Hey, I've had fun. Best of luck to you, whatever. And then like a month or two later, she's visiting and she wants to hang out. And then she tells me she's mad at me. I'm like, what are you mad at me for? Well, you didn't call me.
Was
You
it a
told-
test?
I don't know. That's what's weird.
See,
It's
that's
like,
the other thing I
yeah,
hate.
Like,
It's
don't call me.
hey,
Okay,
if
I don't
I'm supposed
call
to
you.
be the guy running after you. Tell me that
Yeah.
now, because I will be that guy.
Well, that's the thing,
That's
is
the
like-
thing that's easy.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
We would be that guy.
Yeah. She said, I'm mad at you because you didn't chase me. It's like, you told me not to call you. I was respecting you. But apparently not.
Damned if you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's one of those
yeah,
deals.
yeah.
You can't win.
you
Rachel
know what?
missed out. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
The government
'Cause I consider you very.
I'm
I
moving to China.
I see you as
I'm gonna
very
have the
CH.
government- what's
Okay,
that?
I see you as very CH, and Rachel missed out. So there you go.
I'm gonna move to China, and China's gonna issue me a wife.
Is that how that works?
I don't know. It
there?
should. It should. Anyway, I think that's a good place
Didn't
to
they
end
used
this
to
episode.
just yeah. I was,
On a
before,
down.
yeah,
I was like,
I'll issue a wife. Like now it's the Hulk. The theme from the original Hulk song plays us out, and he's just walking.
On our next
hitchhiking.
episode, we're gonna revisit She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Gosh.
All right, cool. Anyway, hey, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed it.